The last lecture showed how the trivium can apply to modern-day problem-solving and communication. This lecture discusses how the quadrivium was used to build upon the educational foundation laid by the trivium during the time of the Middle Ages, and how, with a proper approach, modern-day education can fulfill a quadrivium-like role in your education. This figure illustrates how a student would use the components of the quadrivium to build directly upon the foundation laid by the trivium. The components of the quadrivium went through various stages of meaning from the time of the ancient Greeks through to the Middle Ages, but in all cases they were used as a practical means to develop the trivium skills of the student. For instance, you would use arithmetic, which today would include numeric and symbolic math, to develop your abstract thinking. Geometry, which would include two-dimensional, that is planar, and three-dimensional, that is solid objects, use the visual senses to develop your thinking. Astronomy, which is the motion of solids, again used visual senses to develop your thinking. Music used your sense of hearing to develop your thinking, becoming a sister science to geometry and astronomy. Using abstract ideas and the senses, the quadrivium provided the student with the environment to hone his trivium skills. Using this insight, you may understand the 7 liberal arts more generally these days by relating the trivium to the arts and sciences as illustrated in this figure. That is, instead of making a specific art or science the end goal of your education, which is a common viewpoint these days, that art or science becomes the means to an end. Your specific art or science provides you with a platform. It gives you problems to solve and then requires a report on the solution. Ideally, in every one of these problems, you will pass through all 3 stages of the trivium. For example, you will first have to find disconnected bits of information, the grammar stage. You will then have to find a significant connection between them, the logic stage. Lastly, you will write up and share your results, the rhetoric stage. Thus, your end goal will be the development of your basis, thinking, and expression skills, which are akin to grammar, logic, and rhetoric, respectively. The means toward this end is the art or science that you study. This approach allows you to apply your specific education broadly to your life and work, and not just to one field of study. This approach also allows you to move beyond rudimentary learning, that is memorizing and regurgitating spoon-fed facts and fiction, to where you become an active learner and eventually a student who learns independently. At first, this effort toward independent study is painful and stretching, but it is worth the effort since it takes you beyond what the classroom can give you. It allows you to pioneer new areas of study and to think independently. It transforms you from a blind follower into an active learner. Who knew such a deceptively simple thing as an essay could be so powerful? Now that you have an idea of the amazing places that essay writing can take you, let's get to the work of learning how to write, starting with the lesson on the 3-sentence paragraph. It sounds deceptively simple, but it sets the stage for you to develop solid writing skills.